Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Rambling Runoff, a sports podcast. I am your host, Robert Rios, and as always with me on this show, Mr. Danny Tan. Danny, can you introduce yourself, please?
What's up, people? If you notice something different about myself, I might sound better or worse. We'll see as the podcast goes on. No new microphone, but I'm Danny, halfway sports guy. I'm partnered up with Robert, the full-way sports guy, and I think we got a good show for you today.
No, yeah, like how Danny said he got a new mic. Hopefully he sounds a little bit better. Hopefully our connection goes as smooth as possible, as usual. But yeah, I feel like we got a lot of good stuff to talk about today, Danny. We got some UFC, we got some baseball, we got a little bit of soccer, we got a lot of stuff. What do you think?
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff. I think we got a very diverse show today. Hopefully it's entertaining.
Our shows are always entertaining. What are you talking about?
Yeah, to us. Also, how about we get some housekeeping out of the way? We are now on Spotify. So if you found this on Spotify, welcome. This is our first time here too.
No, yeah, thank you for reminding. I mean, I was gonna save it for later, but yeah, screw it. Let's just go with that. Let's just leave with that. Yeah. Usually I post these on YouTube, but now we are on Spotify. If you use Anchor, we're also on Anchor. But yes, Spotify, look us up at Rambling Runoff. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you for whoever found our sports podcast. Are you excited that we're on Spotify, Danny?
Yes. All thanks to Robert. We're on Spotify, baby.
It was no easy task because there was a small glitch I couldn't figure out, and finally I got it.
Yeah, and soon to come, we'll have a new logo, patent pending. We'll see, copyright pending, and we'll update graphics and trying to establish a style of the show. Yeah, so we're constantly improving, and every show we get a little bit better. So we'll see where we go from here.
No, yeah, I'm looking forward to that new logo that we're trying to work on, or that Danny's working on, I should say. I'm just giving my opinion on stuff, honestly. But yeah, Danny's doing his work. I'm doing my work. I feel like this show's going pretty well right now. We made it to episode 5. Did you ever think we'll make it to episode 5?
No, I thought we'd get into a huge fight, go like into legal battles over like rights and stuff, and spit the zero money that we make from this podcast.
I mean, I would probably let you win. I don't want to step foot into any courtroom at the moment.
No, we're supposed to be like the Beatles, man. We're supposed to fight over everything. There'd be like piles of paperwork, screaming at each other, and then like super silent treatment. Come on, dude. Just used to be drama.
I guess, bro. Just really quick before we get into the sports rambling, the Beatles separated at Walt Disney World at a hotel.
Yeah,
it's a true story.
Yeah. Also, really quick, so the Beatles were kind of like a rock band from England. You know, some of them from Liverpool. Yeah, if you guys don't know,
the UK
made music. Yeah, they're a really small band though. Not a lot of people heard of them. Indie, very indie.
Okay, that was weird, but yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to laugh. It's a joke.
I am laughing. I'm like, where is this going? But yeah,
you're supposed to play off of it.
I am playing off of it. I think it's hysterical. I don't know where you're getting this information from, but I think that's some fake news right there.
Literally, buddy. I gave you the opening to say something, and you said, "Okay, that was weird."
Because it was weird, but
maybe you broke like the number one rule of.
But it gave me a chuckle. It gave me a chuckle though.
All right, okay.
All right, you're wasting time with your Beatles talk. Danny, what you do in the week?
This week, like we talked about last week, I started a big project at work. So I've been working extra hours, overtime, stressing out, people watching every move I make. But this week the podcast looks like it's still going to be right on time. So if you're hearing this at 6:30, we're still right on time. We're recording kind of at the same time that we are normally recording at. But hopefully, if everything goes smoothly, you won't see any change within the next like month or so. But yeah, not much on my side. I got a new desk, a double desk. I'm sharing with myself and my girlfriend, and it's pretty good. Got it off Amazon. Pretty inexpensive, and it's a nice desk so far. It's pretty good for less than $100. Sorry, for around $100. But yeah, what about you, Robert? How was your week?
I'm just glad you were able to get a desk. I know you guys were looking for a desk for about a month or so.
Yeah, oh my god. We went to all the wrong places. We went to conventional furniture shops, and they're selling like one-person desks with just what the outlet embedded in the desk. It was like $1,000, $2,000. Ridiculousness. Yeah. So Amazon comes in clutch. I feed the beast. One of the worst companies in the world gives us some of the cheapest products, but help me out here.
Hey, there's no problem with getting a desk from Amazon. I got my desk from Amazon.
Yeah. Well, if they treated their employees better and were more sustainable, I feel better about it.
Bruh. But anyways,
hopefully Amazon is a sponsor one day, and we'll pull this podcast so you never.
Gosh. Anyways,
you'll never hear it.
Yeah. I was.
How's your week, Robert?
I was once again looking for work, kinda. Doing a lot of housework because I'm here by myself at the moment, and I've been trying to do some more social media work. Also in regards to Danny, trying to make us a logo, and give us some official colors to rep. I've been trying to sprucing up our social media game a bit on Instagram, so it's not just basic. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. I'm just glad I was able to get the Spotify thing off the ground. I think it would help. It will help the podcast a lot.
Yeah, I think so too. Hey, what if we get a couple of versions of the logo, maybe like one or two, and then try. Sorry, my phone's ringing. Try and let the fans vote for which one they want. We can do like an Instagram poll for like the 3 people that listen.
Oh yeah, I mean we could do that too. I mean we got more than 3 listeners. Why are you lying?
Yeah. I don't know if we're in sync this week. I'm trying to joke around.
We are in sync. What are you talking about, bro?
In sync. Bye. All right. Well, yeah, we can do.
Bye.
All right. Let's harmonize. That's
But yeah, man, you want to start the rambling or what? I know you got some hot stuff for us to start with for today's show. Yes. So screw it. Let's start the rambling. Let's go, baby.
So, my topic this week is UFC Fight Night. Barbosa versus Chikadaz.
You got it? Did you get it yet?
Yep. Well, I'm mispronouncing it, but that's how I'm going to run with it. But, Robert, here's my question to you. How do you feel about the UFC, mixed martial arts in general, and just like the explosion of popularity in the sport over the last few years?
Well, I think it's pretty cool. Personally, I didn't get to follow a lot of UFC as a kid because it was always on pay-per-view, and I didn't grow up with a lot of people that like watching it. But whenever I get to watch one of the big bouts, I find it entertaining. I used to wrestle as a kid, so I mean, I get like where they're coming from. I mean, I don't understand the hustle and bustle at the press conferences. I'm like, do you guys just want to fight, or do you guys just want to talk smack to each other? Yeah. But I mean, that's how it is in boxing also. But yeah, I mean, UFC is cool. I remember watching Brock Lesnar when he was in UFC for a while. I can't remember the last UFC fight I saw. I don't remember who it was. I don't remember the 2 names, but the guy knocked out the other guy with his knee in the first second of the fight, and that was it.
Oh, sounds like, is that a Adesanya fight?
It was some dude with like cornrows against some like other dude with like curly hair, blonde hair.
All right. Well, I don't know.
That curly blonde hair guy fought Jake Paul in the boxing fight, by the way.
Oh God, you made me blank.
You know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, it's okay if you don't remember. It doesn't matter to me. I just
Tyrone Woodley.
Yeah, well, it wasn't Tyrone Woodley, but but yeah, that's my.
That's all.
My only
That's,
recollection of UFC. What do you mean what I'm talking about? He did. One of those brothers
Tyron
fought.
Woodley's the only UFC fighter to fight one of the Paul brothers.
No, someone else did. It was the guy that got knocked out.
What?
Yeah, he got knocked out with his knee. The guy literally because he knew he was gonna lunge and he hit him with his knee and he knocked him out. He like, and then for his celebration, he like jumped into the air like a dead fish and it just fell to the mat.
Oh, was that the knee that fractured the guy's skull?
Yes, he like knocked him
Oh,
out.
snap. Oh my God. I remember, but the name escapes me.
That was hilarious.
But really quick, before we jump into the UFC, what did you think? Did you catch the Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley fight? What do you think?
No, I
of
did
the
not, and
events?
I don't know why you're bringing it up when this is UFC and that's boxing.
Well, we're trying to roll, rambling runoff, trying to ramble. You have no thoughts, no comments on the celebrity boxing match that pulled in probably one of the biggest pay-per-views in history.
No, Garbaggio. Next
Garbaggio.
question.
All right. Well, let me give my piece real quick. Tyron Woodley, I think, has hands, but he failed as a boxer. He sat there. He didn't use a jab. He didn't move around. Jake Paul, who's dedicated his life to boxing, being an asshole and being a boxer, showed up and even though he almost got knocked down, I think in round 2, he showed he can go the full distance. I mean, not full 12 rounds, but he went 8 rounds against a real athlete, a trained martial artist. So props to Jake Paul. You're a dickhole, but you went the full distance, and Tyron Woodley, you should have trained more. Yeah, so
there you go.
On that topic,
explanation of random topic.
You hate this so much.
I do. Why are you doing
You hate celebrity boxing. Oh, it's topical. It just happened. It was the same night of UFC, I believe. Same night as the UFC Fight Night. But
you give me UFC and then you start talking about celebrity boxing.
We roll with our topics, man.
You're trying to roll with the punches? All
right.
Gotcha.
Also, November 3rd, pay-per-view only. Tickets on sale at Live Nation. I will fight Robert in his backyard. There's going to be 4 tickets on Live Nation. Come and get your tickets.
It will never sell out. It won't sell out.
That's what the fight is called. Roll with the punches. Robert Rios versus Danny Tan.
I guess. Well, we're going to talk about UFC. You said we're going to talk about UFC.
Let's
you
talk
started
about
talking about Barboza versus Chikazi or
well,
Jaiga
that's the main event.
Chikazi.
Let's back it up. Let's back up to some of the undercards. So this fight night was the UFC event that featured the Ultimate Fighter contestants. I think it's season 28 or something crazy like that. Season 20, I was like, there's been that many seasons of this. I didn't know there was that many participants in the Ultimate Fighter. But yes, I believe there were 2 Ultimate Fighter fights. Those would be Ricky Turcios, and Bradley Hiestand, as well as Gilbert Urbina and Brian Battle. And we had 3 other undercards below that. And then we had the main event. But let's start with Robert. You said you loved wrestling. You would have loved this UFC Fight Night. I think grappling and wrestling was the theme of the night until we got to the main event, and until we got closer to the main event at least. But yeah, we started off with a very grapple heavy fight with Makhmud Muradov versus Gerald Mershaw. Yeah, and I'm doing my best to pronounce these names. Not really, but
you give us the result, please, of that fight.
It was a round 2 submission. Mearshart submitted Muradov to the point where he tapped out. So it was a very wrestling heavy round one. I thought it was going to go full 3 rounds with Mearshart. Mearshart.
You could say Gerard or Gerald.
Yeah, Gerald. Just wrestling Murdoch to the floor and holding him there for 3 rounds, but he got Murdoch to a position where he couldn't do anything else, and he tapped out.
Interesting. Very fast.
Yeah, very fast in round 2. Next up, we had Petrosky.
Another middleweight fight.
Yeah, another middleweight fight. Petrosky versus Gilmore. That ended in knockout in round 3. I believe it was with a strong right hand from Petrosky. But yeah, that was the less interesting middleweight fight. In welterweight, we had Daniel Rodriguez fighting out of Azusa, I believe, versus Kevin Lee.
A welterweight battle?
Yeah, welterweight fight. Went the full distance and went to decision. Daniel Rodriguez, can you believe it? He started fighting last year officially in the UFC in 2020. Kevin Lee has been established in the UFC, but
Rodriguez got the best of him that night.
Yeah, going to decision. Lost my train of thought. Thank you, Robert. Daniel Rodriguez was definitely the most aggressive fighter. He showed the opposite of the previous 2 fights, which were a little grapple heavy. Rodriguez has no ground game whatsoever. I think Kevin Lee's strategy this game was take him down, get him on the ground, hold him down, get some knockdowns possibly, and just hold him on the ground, hold control, and get to the decision. But
like he wanted to sustain him. Like he knew if he let Rodriguez free, he would probably knock him out.
Yeah, and Rodriguez rocked Kevin Lee a few times, especially in round 2. I think Kevin Lee grabbed Rodriguez in the first round. I think it was with 1:40 to the end of the round, and just held him on the ground for the rest of the round. But in round 2, Rodriguez was ready, and he made good on his word that Kevin Lee wouldn't be able to take him down. And he blocked quite a few takedown attempts by Kevin Lee and showed that he's the better striker. Kevin Lee, for some reason, stopped trying to go for takedowns. I think Rodriguez is just aggression. And his formidable leg kicks, he landed quite a few kicks to Lee's inner thighs. I think it just wore him down. But Dan Rodriguez, rising star out of Southern California. I'm not too sure if he's out of Azusa, but out of Southern California. He is, I think, going to be one of the greater welterweight fighters in the UFC to come. He's still young. We'll see where he goes. Yeah,
hey, so this fight caught your eye more, didn't it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a wrestler. I've done Wing Chun. I've done a little bit of boxing. So my background is in striking. So that's what interests me. I like to see elbows being thrown, a couple of checks, feints, just the angles of the striking. When it gets down to the ground, I have zero idea what's going on. Yeah, we should watch the UFC together. You explain the ground game to me, I explain the striking to you. It might be a little bit of fun. But yeah, this welterweight fight definitely caught my eye.
Well, alrighty then. What other fight caught your eye? What else is on this did you call it a card also? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
This bantamweight fight?
Yes, yeah. Rookie Turcios versus Brady Hiestand. This was a wild fight.
Whoa, slow man, you're getting out of hand, bro.
Yeah,
Whoa.
These lighter Ultimate Fighter contestants earned their spot in the UFC Fight Night to compete for a spot in the UFC. And I'll tell you, they did not hold back. Yeah, Ricky came out swinging, and he was really swinging for the benches. I mean, he was tossing haymakers. His lanky arms were like finding Hiestand's face somehow in the middle of his like sloppy runarounds. Hiestand was countering with some good jabs and crosses himself, but they were really going after each other. I think blood was spilled in round 2, but they went the full distance and went to decision. And in round 3, they awarded the fight to Ricky Turcios. But the fight was crazy. It was like when your 2 younger cousins get in a fight, you know, they're like swinging for the fences and throwing tiny haymakers and like throwing each other on the floor, pushing each other. It was wild. It was like a bar fight in the ring.
Did they crash into the gate a bunch of times? Is that what happened?
Yeah, they threw each other into the gate. It was wild. Turcios showed some aggression. I thought he would have gassed himself out, and it did.
I mean, usually in like fights, that's what happens. If you go like 110%,
yeah,
and like you can't, like if you're unconsistently going crazy, like that's not always gonna work, because then the guys are gonna catch you when you're not going 110% crazy.
Yeah, I think it was a gamble from Turcios, but Hiestand, I think he just couldn't keep up with the pace that things were going, and the aggression from Turcios. It was like if you fought like a robot. He just kept coming. You know, he showed some signs of exhaustion, especially in round 2. I saw a couple of moments where Hiestand could have, you know, really dug deep for some energy and taken down Turcios or even knocked him out. There was quite a few times where Turcios just had no guard up. He was just standing there, exhausted, panting. But it was only for a few seconds, and he was going for a tackle or swinging for the fences again. But it was a wild fight. Yeah, and then next up we had the middleweight fight, also from The Ultimate Fighter. We had Brian Battle versus Gilbert Urbina. And initially, I thought Urbina had the fight. You know, he was hitting Brian Battle with some good jabs, good hooks and right crosses. But yeah, in round 2, Brian Battle took down Urbina and just submitted him. He put him in a position where both his hands were locked. He was on his side. His right arm was stuck underneath him, and Brian Battle was on top of his other arm. And yeah, it was one of the best submissions I've ever seen. So I think Brian Battle has a bright future in the UFC. I mean, he has a great name, Brian Battle. What do you think about that, Robert? Would you change?
That's not his real name. That's not his real name. Yeah,
it's
that's not his real name.
It's a stage. Well,
it's not his stage name either. It's just some BS. Well, I don't even know what to call it. It's not his real name.
What would your UFC name be?
Robert Rios.
Robert Rios. No, that's a pretty good name.
Well, what you want me to give you a fake name?
Let's say your name is Robert Rios. What would your nickname? Robert what Rios? What would they call you? What do you think?
Robert the Speedy Rios. I don't know.
The Speedy? What kind of a fighter name is that?
Because I'm quick. You can't catch me. You don't see me. You don't see it coming.
You know, I thought you would go something like, I'm a wrestler, so I don't know. Robert.
I was a wrestler. Hey, yo, Rios. What the hell? What the hell? There's some shenanigans going on in this program that I don't appreciate. That I have to go speak with HR with.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, you can go speak to your HR to our HR department. You know who's HR? Me. I'm HR.
Yo, Jinx, you owe me a soda, and I'm HR. No.
Under a roof, I'm HR. Who's payroll then?
Do you trip it? Dude, I'm everything.
HR. I'm HR.
Bro, payroll. You can't even take control of a Facebook account. You're telling me you're in charge?
Yeah, you're PR. You're PR. I'm HR. I'm payroll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How about you go? How about you go to the wait? What are you gonna say? Go. What are you gonna tell me? That's
I would say
interesting.
you're also editor, producer, director. So you're everything else. All right, give me something. Come on.
You damn right I am. Shit.
Yes, boss. I forgot our position. Yeah, sorry, boss. I'll stay a Saturday. My bad.
Oh my
That was my
gosh.
bad. I was overstepping.
I'll stay a Saturday. Stupid. Oh, come on. You're dragging this UFC thing, sir.
Okay. I'm sorry. Well,
Tell
all
me
right,
what
so
was the main headliner?
the main event,
UFC.
featherweight Edson Barboza versus Giga Chikadez. It was the most exciting fight of the night. So Edson Barboza and Chikadez, I think, have pretty storied journeys, I guess, in the UFC. Chikadez is a rising star. He's got, I think his most recent fight was last year, I believe, with a knockout from a head kick. And he's right off the bat from round one, he was the most aggressive fighter. And he just really showed that the entire way in the fight. You know, he outstruck Barboza.
You're about to say he outshot.
Yeah, I was gonna say he outshot Barboza, but no. But yeah, he was a better striker. Barboza seemed to have a lot of trouble with the odd angles and the odd stances that Chikadez would throw from. He just seemed like the more confident, the quicker fighter. His kicks were insane. I've never seen someone from such a relaxed position throw an axe kick to the head so fast. But his kicks were insane. His long legs really gave Barboza a lot of trouble. So he had crazy range. His jab and his cross were thrown at such odd angles, and they seemed so casually thrown. Like it was as if he was practicing on a bag, warming up, but you can just see the power behind him when they would hit Barboza clean.
And like he was composed.
No, he seemed like a wild animal, but
wait, what?
But a casual wild animal. I don't know how to explain it, but Chikadez just seemed.
What do you mean? You're gonna swing wildly, or you're gonna swing when you want to?
Exactly. Well, he swung when he wanted to, but he did it at such odd angles and at such speed and aggression, and he just was pouring out shots at a constant rate that it just seemed like he was a machine, an animal that couldn't be stopped. Barboza, don't get me wrong, Barboza, he had some good check hooks. He had a couple of good rallies back. But it just seemed like Chikadez had the entire fight. There was a takedown in round two where Chikadez, was it round two? Or was it round three? It was at the end of round. It was in round three, near the end, where Chikadez got a good takedown against Barboza. But other than that, the whole fight seemed to be on its feet, and it seemed to be Chikadez's fight. But yeah, at the end, Chikadez just outstruck and landed a clean left onto the chin of Barboza. A right onto the chin of Barboza behind his left guard, and rocked him, and then followed it through to take him down in round three. Yeah, sorry,
exciting.
Yeah, I mean,
you're like, I have a lot of notes here. I gotta translate it correctly. But yeah, it sounds like you had a good time watching those UFC fights, Danny. Do you usually watch UFC or a lot of combat sports?
You know, I'm new to the UFC, so if I'm blending fights together, I normally don't watch all the fights consecutively. You know, I just usually watch the last,
like the main maybe. Bout, the main fight.
Yeah, maybe the co-main event, maybe like the undercard below that too. So if I'm blurring fights together, or if I mistake a knockdown for a takedown, name me. Leave it in the comments.
You can find him at Twitter. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. You're gonna at me. Yeah. Find me at Twitter at Danny Tangent at me. Yeah, but yeah, it was a great UFC fight night. It puts us up for, I think the next UFC fight is another fight night. That'll be Brunson versus Till. Yeah, under middleweight. Right before, I think there's one more fight night before UFC 266, which is on September 25th. Yeah, so yeah, it was a great UFC fight night. Maybe we can watch the next one together or separately, and then talk about it next week, Robert. So catch it on ESPN Plus, September 4th, 1 p.m. Yeah, that's all I have for the UFC.
Well, alrighty then. Yeah, I mean, UFC is cool. I mean, like I was mentioning earlier, if I were able to, I would watch it more. I mean, not I would want to be obsessed with it, but like I would watch it more. I'd be like, hey, do you want to watch this fight? Like, was this guy like he's been around for X amount of years and he's finally getting his chance to fight in the octagon? And yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's Joe Rogan. He calls the fights. I know sometimes on ESPN they got Stephen A, which is somewhat odd. Here though, he knows his stuff. He knows his stuff surprisingly. Yeah,
he does. I mean, Stephen A is just penetrating every sport possible. He's just on everything: boxing, football, basketball, tennis. He's just, he's got an ear and eye for every sport, it seems like.
Next he's gonna start talking about soccer.
Yeah,
it's gonna be odd.
Yeah, but yeah, Robert, don't you have some MLB updates for us?
No, yeah, I'm gonna go over some who are my top 4 teams in the MLB right now, considering we are now in September and this is it. This is the race to the playoffs, bro. Do you know how important this is, Danny? I mean, you don't watch baseball, you don't know, but this is really important, Danny.
Yeah, I know. Louisville Slugger, RBI.
What the
singles and doubles.
This is not in and out. Singles and doubles, sir.
Closing out the games. What a great pitcher. No hitter.
I hate you. Don't even know what a no hitter is. Get out of here.
Yeah, no hitter is when a pitcher doesn't allow for the other team to score a single.
I hate you.
Yeah, right?
No
hitter?
The pitcher allows no hits. Like, I think he can allow walks, but he does not get hit off of. And you do a single no hitter or a team no hitter. So you could be the pitcher from the first inning all the way to the 9th inning and get no hit, or you can go up to whatever inning they put you in, and then the next guy goes in, and the next guy goes in, and so on if they do that, and you get no hit.
Oh, I see. All right. So tune in next week when Robert explains the entire game of baseball to me.
That's going to be a podium show, and that podium show is probably going to be 3 hours long.
Yeah. So Robert, tell me again, what does the umpire do?
The umpire is supposed to
the modern version of Transylvania's monster.
Oh my gosh. Can we just go through this damn show without getting sidetracked?
That's the whole show.
Bro, we started off doing NSYNC and talking about the Beatles. And then you start talking about celebrity boxing. Oh my goodness.
All right. Okay. So let's talk about let's talk about the NOS. Come on.
I know you don't.
Let's get back on track. Let's get back onto the NOS.
Goodness. All right. Well, I can tell you one team in the MLB that's back on track are the Los Angeles Dodgers, who are at who are at 85 and 49. They lead all. Well, here's our quick story. I was writing up my notes, and I'm like, "Oh, cool! The Dodgers are in first place. We can talk about that." And then these damn San Francisco Giants and these damn, I think, Brewers played a day game, and now the Dodgers are in first place. They now lead all of baseball at the moment, and they're finally in first place of the NL West. But since the Giants played the day game, they are also in first place. But I will start with the Dodgers first, who I believe, are the better team.
Bias. Do I hear a bias?
This is not biased just because I live in Los Angeles. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I like the Angels. We like Ohtani. Come on, bro.
I mean, yeah. It's totally not a bias when you have like 16 Dodger shirts. Your whole family's love the Dodgers for.
I don't have 16 Dodger shirts. I have 2 Dodger shirts. Chill.
2 to the 16th. All right.
But anyways, oh my goodness. The Dodgers, once again, have a record of 85-49. They lead all of baseball, and they lead the NL West. They spent 90 days in second and 27 days in third place in the NL West. Right now, I feel like the Dodgers are a very solid team. Pitching for the Dodgers right now, they got Matt Scherzer, who they acquired from Washington. He has 12 wins, a 2.40 ERA. And besides him, they have Walker Buehler, who has 13 wins and a 2.05 ERA. Leading the way in their batting, dude. I mean,
I can explain what an ERA is pretty quick.
There is their earned run average, which is basically like how good of a pitcher you are. I believe the lower your ERA, the better you are.
I see.
But it fluctuates depending on other things that are mathematical and I don't understand. But anyways, in the batting department, they got Max Muncy, the first baseman. He leads the team, and on-base percentage was .388, RBIs was 78, and he has 30 home runs, which is I believe is at least top 10 in the league, considering Tatis Jr. has, last time I checked, has 35 home runs. He might already have more than that. That was already like 2-3 weeks ago when I saw that stat. But yeah, the team, they're functioning well. They also have Turner, Mr. Redbeard. He is also leading the team. And consider this too, Danny. Although the Dodgers have a very stacked team, they just acquired also the other Turner, Trey Turner. Once again, Max Muncy. They got AJ Pollock. They got Mookie Betts. And they even have Cody Bellinger, who hasn't been hitting well of late. But they still have kept going. They kept grinding. Like, they're bringing in younger players to play positions that they need to fill in, because they either A, like Cody Bellinger, he's been on a cold streak, or B, they've just been losing people to the injury list. So it's not like this team is like a pish posh like whack team. Like, they're not just that big money team that has all their good players. Like, they've had to like pull some strings to like get to where they are now, which is tied for first or in first place. All right.
Wow, I hear you. So what you're saying is the Dodgers have earned their position in first place in the NL West.
Yes, exactly. But apparently in Northern California, there's another team that has also earned their position, and that is the San Francisco Giants, who, even to my dismay, have played well and also have the same record, 85-49, because obviously I said earlier they're tied. And for the Giants batting, Brandon Crawford, he has a batting average of .286, 74 RBIs, a .356 on base percentage, and 111 hits. He leads the team with all those stats. But I'm only mentioning him in regards to, though, they do have a lot of good hitting on that team. Pitching for the Giants, they have Kevin Guzman, I believe. He has 12 wins, a 2.52 ERA, 183 strikeouts, and he is also followed by Jack McGee, who has 29 saves. And shout out to the Brewers, who helped the Dodgers move up into first, but also screw the Brewers because they screwed it up. And they were supposed to keep the Giants behind the Dodgers. And now the Giants are tied with the Dodgers. But you want to know what the best part about all this is, Danny?
No. Tell me what it is.
Oh, screw you. Shut up. The Dodgers and the Giants, at the date of this recording, are going to play over the weekend 3 games. And out of those 3 games, we're going to see who's the outright leader of not just the NL West, but also of MLB. How about them damn apples, Danny? What do you think about that?
The battle for California starts with the Dodgers and the Giants. LA versus San Francisco. The winner gets San Diego. We'll see who comes out on top.
Dude, San Diego's crap right now. Don't even mention their name.
But I'm saying the winner will win
off,
San Diego.
They've
they will
fallen
own
off
the
very
Padres.
hard. Looking at the league standings, the Padres are in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th place of the National League. So skedaddle. And I believe they're in the chase for the wild card. I mean, I'm glad you kind of mentioned the Padres because they were somewhat of a big name for a while. I think they were in first for a tad, and then the Giants skipped them, and then the Dodgers came in the second. And I'm trying to find the wild card standings, San Diego's a game is half a game back of the Cincinnati Reds. So they're gonna have to clean their act up if they want to get into the playoffs. But those are the two best teams in the NL in the NL, all of NL. I think the Brewers, are the third best team in the NL. But it's all California. It's all California Derby, leading the way in the National League. Knows how to party.
Yeah.
In the city. Nah, it's all right. I don't want to copy strike. But the Dodgers and the Giants are in full control of the National League. Do you want to know who's leading the way in the American League, Danny?
Yes, sir. Fill me in, my friend.
So, excuse me, my dog. Please do not bark. Thank you. Sorry, my dogs are going a little wild over here. Danny, can you take over for a second?
Yes, I don't know much about this, but I will.
Talking gibberish since you're talking gibberish this whole show.
Yes, I will talk gibberish about baseball. So let me explain how I think that MLB works. So what you have is Babe Ruth has been the director behind the entire MLB since his retirement. He's kept alive through AI. His virtual consciousness is running the MLB, and he is forcing the Dodgers into a position where they will win the World Series this year and finally win a clean game in the World Series. And I think he set up the Dodgers to lose against the Astros. He was the one who told the Astros to cheat, but it was all for a big comeback story so that the Dodgers can establish themselves as one of the legacy teams in the MLB. Of course, this is all allegedly. This is all fantasy. All right, I made it up. So while Robert comes back, I'll make up some more stuff. I think David Robinson could have been a astronaut.
What in the hell are you talking about? Who the hell is David Robinson?
David Robinson.
Dude, I'm going to be scared to listen back to this and hear what the hell you were talking about.
Dave N. Robinson.
I do not know who that is.
My favorite baseball player.
You don't even watch? Never mind. I'm not even going to get into it. But anyways, I hope Danny didn't torture everybody with his...
Jackie Robinson could have been the first female president. Go ahead.
Gosh. Why are you doing this today? We finally make it to episode 5 and it finally goes off the rails. Okay.
Let us know in the comments if you like a little bit of play or if you just want stats.
So, once again, back to baseball. There's the AL and the NL. I said the NL is led by the Dodgers and the Giants. And the AL,
Nationally.
before I was really interrupted by my dogs over here. The Tampa Bay Rays have a record of 84-49, and they lead the AL East. They are currently led by the hitting machine, Randy Arozarena. He leads the team in the batting average category with a .72 and hitting with 120 hits. Although the Tampa Bay Rays lost Blake Snell over the offseason, they, however, have not fallen off the pitching mound of doom. They have been pushing. They have Josh Fleming, who has 10 wins, and Ryan Yarbrough, who has an ERA of .450, and Tyler Glasnow with 213 Ks. So I feel like this team has done really well for themselves. Danny, I don't know if you're aware about this, but there are a lot of small market teams in MLB, and I think for a while Tampa Bay was like that, and I think they still kind of are. I mean, they gave up what their best pitcher who helped carry them to the MLB World Series last season, and you had to give them up to the Padres. But it looks like they've done well for themselves. They've gotten a good collection of players, and they're in first place of the AL.
Yeah, my knowledge of Tampa Bay is that clip of the Tampa Bay pitcher catching a hit from, I don't remember the other team, but catching it casually one-handed, and the camera panning back and forth between the players, the batter asking, "Did you just catch that?" And the pitcher saying, "Yep, I just caught it."
Bruh.
That's on it.
Well, yeah. I mean, usually the small market teams have started to do the Moneyball strategy, and they get a bunch of no-name guys that do one specific job, or they're good enough just to be under the payroll of the team, and they carry them all the way. I mean, it's somewhat of a phenomenon considering they made a whole damn movie about it. Was the Oakland Athletics, was Billy Bean with him in charge in Oakland. But yeah, I mean, it works. It's working now. They're in first place. I mean, it is odd considering, like I said, they're a small market team. If you look up their stadium, if any of our listeners look up Tropicana Field, it's not Wrigley and it's not Fenway.
All right, let me take a look. Tropicana Field.
So I wouldn't say it's the best place to go play ball.
I mean, it doesn't look too bad from the first image I see. It looks pretty cool. Indoor stadium, interesting.
No, yeah, I mean, it's in Tampa Bay, dude. Like, they're having a damn hurricane over there right now, apparently. There's storms going on over there in Florida. So, of course, they had to have it indoor. But really quick, one problem that they do face sometimes is whenever there's a pop-up fly ball, the ball will hit the catwalk in the ceiling, in the roof. So either it's going to hit the catwalk and bounce awkwardly back down out of nowhere, or it's going to get stuck.
Wow, that's a bad stadium. But as a side note, our hearts go out to those affected by Hurricane Ida. Stay safe out there.
Stay safe, please.
Yes, please.
But yeah, as Tampa Bay, I believe I wouldn't be surprised if they make it again to the World Series, if they've played this well all season. I did get to tweet about a little of them this week. They're playing the Red Sox, where they killed those guys. They destroyed them. And I don't know, did you see the tweet I put out? They hit a home run and they hit it into the Budweiser fan section. And I was like, does he get a Budweiser with that? With that home run?
No, I mean,
of course you didn't see that tweet.
No, I didn't. I tried to play it off, but
oh no, yeah, it was during the daytime, sir. It was in the day game. But yeah,
I got a job, Robert. I can't be checking Twitter 24/7.
Hey, I got a job too. It's this. I just don't get paid. Not yet. Haha.
Not yet. Please, brands. Amazon. I'm sorry. I slandered you earlier. Please sponsor us.
Please. But yeah, and speaking of Amazon, my fourth best team in MLB right now, which starts with the letter A, is the Houston Astros, who I believe will probably meet the Tampa Bay Rays once again in the AL Championship Series. So they have a record of 78-55, and they lead the AL West. Hitting well for them currently is Michael Brantley, with averaging a .317 with 135 hits. After him, they got Jordan Alvarez with 26 home runs and 89 RBIs. When I was looking up their stats, I noticed that Jose Altuve was nowhere near any of the leading stats. However, he is hitting a .272 and he has 25 home runs. So it's not like he's not doing what he used to do, but I guess like he's taking a back seat in his hitting. But I would have to follow more. I would have to, because baseball is more of like an eye sport, so I would have to see him play more. I would have to give him the eye test to tell you if he's like either in a slump or he's not play, or if he's playing well. I mean, 25 home runs, that's second or third best on the team. Like, whatever your opinions are of the Houston Astros, they've carried themselves after that 2017 season. So take your pick on the team if you want.
I mean, you can also mention that there are a bunch of cheaters, liars, and
Allegedly.
I mean, well, they admitted to it.
Well, some of them did, some of them didn't. Some of them just want everybody to forget about it. But the world would never know, as they were not penalized by the MLB, and nor did they ever go to court for anything. So
Which
yeah,
is a damn shame. They should have made an example out of them.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Houston Astros.
I mean, you go.
That's why you're second place. That's why you're second place.
You can go tweet or send a letter to Commissioner Manfred and complain to him.
Yeah, I'll send a whole box of letters back and front, 3-page letters that say just Astros suck,
Bruh. Well,
kicking them out the league, make an example out of them.
Can I finish my segment?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, that was the batting section for the Astros. In the pitching, they have Zach Greinke, who has 11 wins, 3.66 ERA, and they have Ryan Presley, who has 22 saves. One thing I was looking up, because I was like, where is this guy? Where's this player? And I was looking for Justin Verlander. And apparently, I do somewhat recall this, but I guess I don't follow the Astros that much, I guess. Justin Verlander, he's always Tommy John surgery. Danny, do you know what Tommy John surgery is?
I believe that's when they remove your right shin and replace it with some bionic carbon fiber plate.
Do you think you're funny?
Yeah, a little bit.
No, Tommy John surgery is when they have to basically kind of like fix up like your nerves and your tendons and your throwing arm.
Oh, I see. So it's not when they surgically implant a card so you can get free sandwiches at Jimmy John's.
No, unfortunately. And yeah, that usually takes you out for almost a year, because you have to do the surgery and then you have to go to rehab.
Yeah.
And then you have to learn how to throw with your arm again.
Wow. So he's going to be in the gym doing physical therapy for quite a while.
No, yeah. And then another hard part about Tommy John surgery is that the process is hit or miss. Like, you could go do everything right and then try to throw like how you used to, and it's just not there. So, I mean, he does play for an AL team, but you know, you never want to see really good players get hurt like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
I mean, I've never had Tommy John surgery, but usually the times where I've seen the pitchers leave and then the next day, oh, he needs Tommy John surgery. It's, you know, like he could tell that he can't really move. He can move his arm, but he could tell that something's wrong, and it's that slow, painful, awkward walk back to the dugout, and you go into the tunnel and you're never seen again.
Well, hopefully Justin Verlander comes out of this on top of the surgery, and with PT and physical rehab, he gets back to pitching.
No, yeah, I mean, we're looking at a really good ending to the MLB season. If whoever comes out of the whoever comes, I can't even like communicate correctly how big of a deal this like top 4 of my teams are, because any of these teams could win it.
Really?
The Dodgers could win it. The Giants could win it. Like, these teams, like, they have really good players and they have stacked lineups.
Wow. But can the Astros win it without cheating? That's the question.
Yes, unfortunately.
Damn.
So there you go. If if you would like to comment down below on YouTube, tell us, who do you think is going to win the World Series? Personally, I think the Dodgers are a lock in. Not just because they're the defending champs, but due to their ability to sub in players in and out with their very expensive team. And I mean, they're using people that are not even expensive, so it's not like they are a big money team, but they know where to get their players. So it's not like they're they're not just like putting everybody out there. Giants, the same thing. Tampa Bay, small market. Houston, they're there. But no, Houston, they have a good solid squad there too. They've had a lot of players stick around, so it's not like they have a lot of new faces going around.
Yeah. Well, from what little I watch baseball, I have a feeling that the Dodgers or the Giants, whoever comes out on top in the NL West, will be solidified as the best in the West and go on to win the World Series. So I hope the Dodgers are able to do that, but I think the power is in the West this year, and I don't think the East stands a chance in the World Series.
No, I think the National League is a far how do I? They're way more competitive than the AL.
A cut above the rest.
Yes, and I believe in the World Series, it's once again going to be Dodgers versus Tampa Bay, a traditional World Series, I might add. So we're going to see World Series baseball back at Dodger Stadium, back at Tropicana Field. And yeah, I think the Dodgers are going to come out on top. Hopefully we could do a podium show with this, Danny.
Yes, yeah. So let's try to find someone who likes baseball.
Don't worry, man. I got my people. Don't trip.
All right. Yes,
But
sir.
if we do a podium show, look for that towards the end of the month, as the playoffs do start October 5th with the wild card game. So yeah.
Yes.
Is there anything you would like to comment on before we move on, Danny?
Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I love baseball. America's favorite pastime. Go Dodgers.
All right, Danny got the Dodgers win the World Series. All right, we got that out of the way. You ready for the warm-up, everybody?
Yeah, I think people have been dying to hear something other than our two topics.
Well, here's our third thing. And Danny, did you hear about this? Bishop Sycamore High School. Did you hear about that?
Oh, unfortunately, yes, I did. It's an unfortunate abuse of high school sports, of school systems, of young kids. It's just gross and abusive all the way around. Yeah. You want to give a quick overview of what?
I don't know where you got all those words based off of the information that I lightly gave you earlier. But yes, Bishop Sycamore High School, based out of Columbus. It's not a real high school, but they somehow made it onto ESPN programming.
Yeah.
They were playing high school football. They were playing IGM Academy, who usually has like 5-star recruits going into college, and they played them to a 58-0 defeat. But as the ESPN broadcast kept going, the broadcasters had some trouble figuring out some of the Bishop Sycamore players and where they were from and where they were possibly going to be scouted to. And then they realized that some of this might not even be real. Like, they couldn't back up the information, which is a little odd by ESPN for letting some supposed highly touted high school come onto their television screens and their programming.
Yes, I believe ESPN diverted the blame onto a production company.
No, yes,
scheduled the games.
They had scheduled. I believe ESPN was trying to say, "Hey, we don't know what this is," but they're like, "Well, we owe IGM Academy this," and they're like, "Okay, we'll just put it on." And then the commentators were like, "Yeah, we can't really figure out some of this," but Danny, get this. So I said they're from Columbus, but apparently they're not. They're from Texas, but they promote themselves as like an online charter school.
Mm-hmm.
And hear this. So the location is like an athletic program building where they let like young athletes come and train.
Yes.
And supposedly they rented out like a library or like a room, and that was the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. When you're called Bishop something, you're saying that you're like a Catholic school. So they were trying to say that they're from Columbus under whatever archdiocese from Columbus is, the Diocese of Columbus. And the Diocese of Columbus said there is no such thing as a Bishop Sycamore High School in Columbus. And another thing too that they said is that there has never been a Bishop Sycamore.
Yeah.
And what makes this more sus, what helps them, I guess what helped them hide was that when you're a bishop something, a Bishop Sycamore, and you're under a diocese, a religious school, you don't file under like state taxes or state education system.
Yeah.
So not even like any of the education districts like had them labeled.
Yeah.
And so I was doing research. I was trying to figure out so I could explain this to you. And yeah, like your name when you're bishop, you're named after a local bishop or historic bishop. There's no Bishop Sycamore. And then when I was doing research, I tried going onto your website, and off of an article that I read and some tweets, they had like 5 blogs or article posts saying, "Oh, check out the team." And then when I tried looking it up, the website doesn't work.
Yep.
And then it says, I had also seen that their schedule was never posted. It said coming soon, but there was nothing ever posted. But on all the other schools' teams that they played, they were posted. So, of course, IGM Academy, for example, I had Bishop Sycamore ready to go. But yeah, it's just so odd that this school that doesn't exist is on television and saying that they have like D1 prospects everywhere.
Yeah, from my understanding as well, the coach, I think his name's Roy. Oh, you have it here. Roy Johnson. He was the main orchestrator in recruiting players. He would recruit 19-year-olds, people at 16 from other schools, have them train, play, and just exercise and work out 24/7. While he was supposed to also be teaching them, because he was administrator, teacher, and coach for the high school.
Oddly enough, they still had some sort of a principal in control of this.
Yeah, who claimed to have no idea who Roy Johnson was and somehow fired him, even though the school doesn't exist as an entity. But yeah.
Yes, he was fired due to pending fraud charges. And and apparently the players he was coaching, they would get hurt. Another thing that was pointed out is that they played Friday. This game, the IGM Academy game, was on Sunday. Danny, have you ever heard high schoolers or college or NFL players playing full 48-minute games 2 days apart? I've never heard that unless it was like scrimmages, but those are like easy, like passing or limited in some sort of capacity.
Yeah, and even then, it's rare to see things scheduled so tightly.
But like I said, their schedule was never posted. So how are you going to know that they're going to do that?
Yeah. And from some of the player anecdotes, this Roy Johnson guy was a real piece of work. He would run players to the ground. And when they got injured, he would discard them. But since they were under this school, they couldn't go anywhere else. And so they lost out on months and in some cases years of education. And they just were constantly set back from an injury and from putting their hopes in this guy that this school would take them somewhere. Yeah, it was just such a bad system used to abuse these kids.
No, yeah, dude, it's weird. Like, I mean, dude, like, I know the coach was in on it, but like, how many people are in on this? Like, there's no way the players don't know. Because considering that another thing that I jotted down in my notes is that like Max Preps doesn't even have some of the players. They don't even have their team schedule. They have players like one player, for example, he's a parent class of 2023. He's a QB, but according to Hall, which follows different QBs or highly touted prospects to go to college on their website, it says that he plays for another high school, and he on another site it says that he's an unrecruited grad from 2021. So it's like, what? Like, there's no
Wow.
way that some of these players are not in on it. Like, and besides, if you're 20 years old and you're playing high school players, what the hell is wrong with you? What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a strange situation overall. I mean, there's no oversight. There was no system in place to catch this. It's just such, I guess it's just a glaring spot of exploitation
No, yeah, like
in the high school
scam,
football.
someone's getting duped. Like,
I
so you're
mean,
telling me this coach got fired from a school that doesn't exist? That makes no damn sense.
yeah. And, we haven't even talked about it, but think about, why they would do this. They made a school that doesn't exist, probably to pull funds away from all the places that they can get it. And let's say, the two people that we know, there's a principal and a coach. If they're the ones splitting the money, then, they have no reason to invest any money into anything else. They pay for a facility so that it doesn't just look like a Ponzi scheme. And yeah, I think from some of the reports, players who were injured or who were requested class time just sat in the library and slept there because some of these players didn't have a place to stay. So they used that
Yeah,
facility as their residence.
dude, that's
It's,
wild. Dude, that makes no damn sense.
yeah, it's just ridiculous, Kids and even, I guess, players who had nowhere to go. This 20-year-old put his hopes into this place, but he probably turned a blind eye to everything else, hoping you can get him somewhere. But
He's
yeah,
like, I could pass as a 20-year-old high schooler. It's fine.
yeah,
It's
but
okay. I only played 1 year of junior college football. That's all right. I could play high school,
no,
right?
but at 20 years old, if you're a desperate kid who was hoping to be a QB and to get recruited to college but didn't, wouldn't you chase your dream? And this coach comes up to you and say, hey, play for my team. I know you're a little older, but I'll give you a shot, and if you make it, you make it, and you can go on to live out your dreams and play college ball. Wouldn't you take that shot?
No, because I know that's illegal.
you know
You're
I,
20 and you play junior college football and you go play high school football.
I'm not going to blame, 20 is still pretty young. I'm not going to blame him.
No, yeah,
I'm
it
going
is.
to
But how many
blame,
20-year-old high school football players do you know, Danny?
yeah, I know none. But think about this. What kind of a coach, what kind of a school, what kind of a, system allows for a 20-year-old to go and play high school ball? Even if he wanted to, even if he could, there shouldn't have been a way for him to do that.
I don't know, man. This whole situation is weird. You want what's more weirder is that even though they got grown-ass men out there, they still getting smacked.
Yeah, I think that's what happens when the coach is only being paid to run these kids to the ground. He's supposed to build athletes, but without the proper systems and without rest and without the precautions to prevent injury, this is what happens. You get players who get injured all the time, and they underperform because they're being overworked. Yeah, it's just an unfortunate situation overall.
I don't know. I would not to be mean. I wouldn't say unfortunate. It's just a whole. I don't even know what word to get. It's just it's mind-boggling. It don't make no
Yeah,
sense.
horrible, disgusting, exploitative.
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. There's no way these players don't know. And I went onto their Twitter, And it's so weird. They're like retweeting like stuff from like players admitting like, yeah, like we know this, we're not like a big high school, we're not like the real deal, but we do have like 5-star people going around. And that's like how many, dude. And the weird thing too is that like the person that they're retweeting, like one of the guys, like he's cussing. How many high schools do you know are going to retweet stuff that involves curse words?
Yeah, I mean, well, they're technically not a high school, but you know what? I think this is where we're different. But yeah, I don't blame the players. I don't blame these kids. You know, at 20 years old,
You're not a kid when you're 20.
yeah. I mean, if he's a high school player, I think he's just trying to chase a dream. He's 20 years old. He could be held liable. Sure, you know, he shouldn't be doing that shit. But I mean, at the same time, there should be systems in place to prevent these things from happening.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm talking. Like what happened? Like, how did this slip through the cracks?
Yeah.
Considering, like, I'm pretty sure, like, you know, you can say, "Oh, we're good, we got all this," but at the end of the day, like, if you're like a high school coach, like, you want to know what team you're playing, and you know, you're just gonna hear, "Oh yeah, they're good." Okay, well, let's go show them that we're better. And then you find out, well, we shouldn't even be playing them. And yeah, that's what some schools have started to do. They started to cancel games against them. Because
I mean, why would you play against them now?
No, yeah, why would you play some place that doesn't exist with players that may or may not even be in the age range or in the same level as your own players? And that, yeah, it's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole joke.
Well, let's leave this for the legal system and for the state of Ohio to handle.
Well, apparently they're from Texas, so
what's it? Federal, state, whatever system handles it.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the rundown.
Yeah, we're ready for the rundown. Yeah, I mean, that's all I gotta say. This is one big joke.
Yeah, it's a big clusterfuck.
All right, everybody, we're here at the rundown. I know it's been a weird show today. We made it to episode 5. Thanks for listening, everybody. Yeah, we're here at the rundown, and first thing that we got right off the bat is Cam Newton has been released from the New England Patriots. He unfortunately got COVID-19, and he was coming in and out of practice, not really focusing, and yeah, they just said, all right, smell you later. What do you think, Danny? What do you think about that? Cam Newton getting cut.
That sucks. I mean,
for lousy play and getting sick and not focusing on the team.
It's unfortunate. You know, he did a lot of things for the Panthers.
The Patriots, sir.
Cam Newton was he not the quarterback for the Panthers?
Oh, I thought you were saying he for the Patriots. Excuse me.
No,
sorry.
no.
I apologize. Everybody.
No, but well, I'm talking about a while ago. But you know, he did a lot of things for the Panthers as QB. But for the Patriots, I guess maybe the years have, you know, done its damage to Cam Newton, and he's just a lazier player, or he's just unmotivated in a team that, you know, demands excellence. And it's unfortunate he got COVID-19. Hope he's doing well, but it is what it is sometimes.
No, it doesn't help when you're competing against a rookie quarterback with Mac Jones, and I guess he was probably already falling out of favor, and then he got sick, and then they're like, all right, now what are we going to do with you?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like what happened to Jeremy Lin in the league. You know, he's injury prone, still performs somewhat, but is lackluster, and he fell out of the league, and you know, now he's playing for China. But yeah, it's just an unfortunate situation.
All right, there you go. Making their return next up on the rundown, Mr. Rajon Rondo, back with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Signing a bigger deal. Congratulations, Rondo.
I know, it's so odd. He went to the Lakers and then left the Lakers, went to the LA Clippers, and then got traded to the Memphis Grizzlies, and then got sent back to the LA Lakers.
Yeah. Yeah.
What in the hell? Danny, can you shed some light on this subject, please?
Not really. I mean, there's not much to shed. You know, I was mistaken. He signed a worse, a smaller deal. Instead of his $9 million of when he initially signed with the Lakers, he cut a deal for $2.6 million. But
isn't just for like a year or two?
Yeah, I think it's just for a year. Yeah, but his original deal with the Lakers, I think, was just for a year at $9 million or $6 million. But yeah, I mean, Rondo is a great veteran player. I think he did a lot with the Lakers. He's an amazing passer. He's not a huge hog on the floor. He's a great shooter. He goes into the basket. But yeah, I guess the Clippers wanted him as leverage. They gave him to the Grizzlies. I feel like he could have done a lot there. I don't know why the Grizzlies gave him back to the Lakers, but yeah,
probably too expensive.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, Ja Morant's pulling too much.
And yo, man, I mean, if I were them, I would have kept him. I mean, who doesn't want playoff Rondo?
Yeah, I mean, playoff Rondo is how old now? He's 35.
35? Damn.
Yeah, I mean,
it's almost time, buddy.
Yeah, he's older. Well, I guess he was bought out by the Grizzlies.
Oh, there you go. And then he signed with the Lakers.
Yeah, and then signed with the Lakers for...
That's so weird.
Yeah.
That whole situation is just weird. But yeah, congrats. Coming back to Lakers. Maybe they'll win another one. Next up on what were you gonna say?
Just an overview. He initially signed with the Hawks before he got traded to the Clippers, then went to the Grizzlies, then came back to the Lakers. Go ahead.
Just like this show, it just doesn't. It just does not stop.
Doesn't end.
It never ends. It's never ending. Pod forever. Just kidding. I'm tired too. We also got Mike Trout. Similar to Justin Verlander, he got shut down by the Angels this week. They don't see him coming back anytime soon. And hopefully Shohei Ohtani can carry the weight. Mike Trout, he's been a staple for the Angels for so long. And I mean, if it wasn't for Ohtani, I feel like the Angels would be a bunch of nobodies. I mean, they're not playing well this season at all, but you at least see one or two highlights from Ohtani, either with his pitching or with his home runs that he's been hitting.
Hope Mike Trout gets better. Ohtani, swing for the fences, my boy.
He's like my Asian brethren. Gotta represent.
Yes. Always support everyone Asian. Jeremy Lin, come back to the league. Please, somebody pick this man up.
No one's gonna pick him up, fool. I think his time's done.
No,
one hit wonder, and that was it.
Insanity. You know, he got a ring. He's got a ring from Toronto.
That is true.
Yeah, I think he just needs to find a better position. You know, I think initially he was just a guy who exploded and underperformed after that from the high expectations. But I think he can find his place back in the league. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, what do you got next for us, Robert?
In more serious news, Trevor Bauer of the Los Angeles Dodgers, he is still in court for alleged assault on a woman in Pasadena. He swears he has never. Well, I mean, they always swear this. He swears that he's never met this woman, and he doesn't know where any of these is coming from. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not on his side or for her side. It did come out of nowhere, considering Trevor Bauer is a very eccentric person. He has a YouTube channel. He vlogs a lot. He cracks a lot of jokes. He messes around during the games. When he's pitching, he does like this weird. He would do this weird eye thing, like to just piss off the batter, and then he would laugh when they would hit a home run off of him. Like, oh well, my eye trick didn't work today. So I don't know. It's a strange situation that Trevor Bauer has going. The league for like the past like month or so has just been extending his like suspension like every week. So it's like, okay, 6 days are up. All right, we'll extend it again. We'll extend it again. I highly doubt. I mean, we're already in September. I mentioned we're in crunch time for the playoffs. I highly doubt he's gonna come back. And I have a feeling that it's taken so long now that the Dodgers are not even gonna ask him to come back. And he's a really good pitcher. I mean, the Dodgers are going to lose a lot without him, but then again, they've been playing well without him anyway. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah. I mean, we'll see what comes from this alleged assault case. But yeah, I guess this is another question. Do you separate the player from their private life? You know,
Sometimes. I mean, if it's like affecting like their playing time, it's like, all right, what's going on? What's wrong with you? Like you see that a lot in sports where, you know, reporters were asked like, hey, like, what happened to you? Why aren't you playing this game? Or what happened to you? Or what's going on around this? You know, they'll probably tell you half the truth, half a lie. But I mean, there's no hiding this. You know, assault was not funny.
yeah.
So who knows? We'll stick with more baseball. There's a lot of baseball in the show today, Danny. Did you realize that?
Nope, not until now.
And semi-serious, but also odd news. Javi Baez, he got fed up with it, and I think he plays for the Mets. He came around third base, scored a run, and to his own home fans, towards home plate, gave him a thumbs down. Okay, him and another teammate of his were just tired of the BS that they've been getting from Mets fans, because they get booed from their own Mets fans because the Mets have not been playing well, and Javi Baez and the rest of the team, no idea, haven't been playing well. And, you know, he just got sick of it, and he's like, you want to screw this? Thumbs down to all you guys. At first, it was never taken positively. It was not a positive outlook for the Mets. One of their presidents was like, yeah, we can't be having this. You can't be disrespecting our fans. Initially, Baez was like, yeah, it's just we're just tired of getting booed by our own home fans. Like, we're tired of sucking too. How do you think we feel? And then, like, the next day or whatever, he came out and apologized. I know there was another player that on the Mets team that did it. He was saying it was all for fun, but he didn't know that that Baez was actually pissed off about it. Like, he didn't know it was like that serious. So Baez came out, he's like, my bad. Like,
I saw that he issued an apology.
Yeah, I think it's because they asked. I'm pretty sure they asked him to. Because if you're gonna do that, like, have some balls, you know. Like, if you're gonna be pissed off, you're gonna be pissed off. I mean, what? It's not like he like gave them the finger or said foul language. You know, he gave them the thumbs down. If you watch Game of Thrones, that's like a big thing. You know, the thumbs down. Like, I don't know. It's just a big mishap. And the funny thing is too is that, like, the next day or 2 days later, he got the winning. He hit the winning run.
Interesting.
So instead of, I think they're gonna make it as a thing now, because this is how some of these things happen. Like, something happens with a player, it's either negative and you turn into a positive. And, you know, when you start winning, you know what happens when you have thumbs down?
Yeah, they swing right back up.
There you go, thumbs up. Woo!
Yep.
So I think the Mets are gonna have to figure out their player situation during the offseason. But I wouldn't be surprised if the thumbs thing disappears anytime soon.
Yeah, I think it's just a small piece of news. Just a weird thing.
That's why it's in the rundown.
Yeah. I think it's just to appease the fans, because the fans are where your money's at, you know?
Yeah, they're like, why do you guys suck? We're gonna boo you. And then he's like, well, I don't know, but don't boo us. Here's a thumbs down. But yeah, last thing, and I think I will start playing our wonderful music here. The USA, they start World Cup qualifying. As of this recording, they are playing El Salvador. They will play Canada next week. Danny, me and you are going to be watching that game, hopefully.
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah,
hopefully Canada loses.
Yeah, dude, that one's gonna be a good game. Right now they're playing away in San Salvador, and yeah, hopefully Team USA, the men's team, you know, turns it around. 2017 was so long ago. Hopefully now the US, you know, get their act together and they qualify to the World Cup. And yeah, we're probably gonna be live tweeting that, maybe putting some stuff on Instagram. So yeah, make sure you check it out, man. USA versus El Salvador and Canada. Check it out, bro. Come on, Danny. I know you like soccer.
Yes, I love kicking the ball.
But But yeah, is that everything, Danny? You got anything else to say before
Nope.
we start going off?
Thank you all for listening. Check us out on Spotify. If you're listening on Spotify, let us know how you think this episode went. There's no comments on Spotify, so go over to our YouTube channel or DM us on Instagram or Twitter and let us know if it was good, bad. Any feedback is welcome.
Our 5th episode was very interesting today.
Yes. Yeah. So Robert, what are our handles across Twitter and Instagram?
If you would like to message us on Twitter, you can find us at Off Rambling on Twitter. If you would like to see updates and pictures on Instagram, you can find us at Rambling Runoff, or just type in Rambling Runoff and you should find us. And yeah, like how Danny said, we are now on Spotify. Type in Rambling Runoff and you should find us.
Also on Anchor.
Yeah, also on Anchor. Thank you. If you want to find me personally on Twitter, you can find me at Robert RRY. And Danny, where can they find you at?
I am at Danny Tangent on Twitter.
And yeah, I believe that was our show. Sorry if it was a little janky today. I guess I didn't know our 5th episode was going to be the weird episode. I mean, I guess it's just fitting for us, I guess.
Yep. One of them's got to be weird.
I suppose, but hopefully we keep on going. We don't want to be tweaking out here.
But thank y'all for listening. And this was the Rambling Runoff.
See you guys. Peace out.
Peace.